So I think we got quite a few people here, and I want to make sure Rohit has plenty of time to say everything that he wants. So I will go ahead and get started by introducing myself. I am Jordan, and I'm from ARC, and so I want to thank everybody first and foremost for joining our talk today. Again, Sidecar. Less is the future of the service mesh. Let's talk. As a part of the Remote Engineering Global Job Fair brought to you by ARC, we connect great developers with companies all around the world. If you'd love to learn more about the companies that are hiring, we are sharing the link for that in the chat. And today we're going to be learning about how you can get the benefits of Istio without operational complexity and overhead of sidecars. And to make sure you take full advantage of this talk, feel free to drop all your questions for Rohit, our speaker, in the Q&A section. We will answer them by the end of the talk, and if Rohit sees something maybe that's relevant while he's speaking, he might answer in the moment, but we will answer at the end of the talk. And don't worry about taking notes or writing any of this down. We're going to send you the recording right after the call. So, without further ado, let's welcome our special guest today. Here with us is Rohit, platform advocate at solo.io. And Rohit is a community evangelist running the Keep Up and the DevOps community. He is a speaker and panelist bringing awareness around DevOps, security, and application networking. So, without further ado, Rohit, the stage is yours.
Hello, I guess I'm audible. So, without disturbing anything, I guess we can start with our slides. So, so as we know, so our today's talk is like sidecar-less service mesh, right? So, we will talk about various things like what is a sidecar, what is a Istio, and what actually is the sidecar-less, right? But going back, we will first introduce our thing, which is Solo, where I work, right? So, as you know, there are leading companies everywhere, who are working towards making our life easier, like really big companies. So when they're working, they focus on innovations, right? So while focusing innovation, they deal with the challenges and stuff. So there comes a place of Solo. Solo is a doorway to solving their use cases. We are the company who modernize the application networking, and we help them modernize everything. So if you talk about application networking, service mesh, modern API gateways, technologies, anything, so we are the solution for the same, and that's why we also say like we are the leaders in the Istios, because as you can see that all of the names are like from the founder of Istios. So as you can see, this is my slide I use everywhere. I'm little otaku. So I'm platform advocate at solo.io. I'm founder of various communities, Keep Up, DevOps community, Developer Relations community, and going further, these are my various slides. So I was also the one of the guy who was working normally everywhere, right? So working as a normal guy who was in the ML background or something. But I switched to the DevOps, and I grabbed the remote job opportunity, and grabbing remote job opportunity really changed my life entirely, because previously I was just going to the office and stuff and stuff. Now I have to just sit at a home and work for the US company in India. So what can be the better? So you can connect me on the Twitter, LinkedIn portfolios. Also, I have shared various things around the DevOps, cloud native, machine learning ops, and various things. So without going taking your time or something, we can start with our today's topic. So as you can see, like we were going to talk about Istio, right? So what is challenging with microservices? So if you know or not know about microservices, you can ask in the questions. We will really like to answer your questions. But as you can see, there are various challenges with the microservices. Like if there are different services, how to observe the interaction among services. Like when you have the application, there are different applications, right? So different applications will have the different services they will put on, right? But when these services of one application of different jobs interact with different services, then dealing with this complex structure is really tough, because when you take the one cluster, inside that also there are various services. But when it is a thing of thousands of clusters, what can be done? And that as dealing with the Istio and Solo, I have seen like thousands of clusters, and it is really complex. And Istio is one of the thing which is really complex, because when you have the one service, it will have the different sidecar proxy attached to it. So it doubles the pain of your journey. So how to secure service communication? That is another thing, because first thing of using the service mesh is like we know about making the communication easier between the your one service to another, and dealing with the traffic. But making it more secure in this complex structure is another difficulty. So service meshes help there also, right? Another thing is how you can manage the timeouts and communication failures. So so that is one thing, like when so we can say it as like how you can deal with the when you are accessing some website, right? And website will have different pages. So one of the pages will fail. So what can be done? You have to move the system directly, right? So that is another thing. So how to control traffic? That is another question, because there will be lot of requests going from here and there, and you have to deal with that. So what is Service Mesh? Service Mesh is a programmable framework that allows you to observe, secure, and connect microservices. So it is not just about microservices. In and like if your application, there are different application, and the service mesh makes it this manner. Istio service mesh make it in this manner. Like whenever your applications is contacting between the services, then it doesn't have to be aware of what is happening inside. Like it is there is a monolithic, there is a monolithic microservices or whatever is there. It makes the life of a service, like your applications, easier by focusing on going the traffic through the proxy of one service to the another service proxy. So how this happens, we will focus on that, right? So this was before utilizing the Istio. I can see like service economy and the service behind something. But as you can see, after the service mesh was introduced, then we can use the business logic easier in the operational codes, because as you can see, as you can see here, this was a platform goals with the service mesh, and platform goals means like this wanted to achieve and something. So as you can see, offload application level traffic routing. So this is nothing but you can talk about the various use cases, because service mesh helps you to you in the observability. It helps you in the resiliency. It provides zero trust security. It has the application level routing. So how, as you can see, like take one use case, like if you talk about the load balancing of so failover, you can talk about failover of application, your services, and also you can talk about the so you have seen the use case where one of the pages gets dropped down and you have to do everything. So it also deals with the circuit breaking. It also deals with the resiliency. It also deals with the failover. And if you want to get logs of your applications and see it nicely in the observability, so you can integrate service mesh for that. You can also use the application level traffic routing and filtering. So yeah, different things you can do. So managing the mutual TLS and certifications is one of the thing we need in the service meshes. Like mutual TLS is nothing but so one network. So if there is one network where traffic is going from one service to another, so the secure connection between the same is we can do with the mutual TLS. and certifications we can assign, and certifications rotations we can do. So this is really high level things we deal with when you are going inside the application security. So enforcing the security filters policies we do. So is if you know the YML codes and stuff, so we write the authorization policies, authentication policies, and assigning them. So we deal with that also in the Istio service mesh, right? So how Istio works today, right? Not so as you can see, there is a data plane sidecar proxies. So data plane will have which have the service. So service A, service B is nothing but any of your pages in the website, and inside that, as you can see, every application code is deployed with a proxy. So this entire application is dealt with and attached to the entire envoy proxy. So your envoy is a sidecar for the application, which we talk every time. So if service A wants to communicate to the service B, then it will go to the envoy proxy of service A, then the envoy proxy of service A go to the envoy proxy of service B, and then it pass the message and stuff to the service B. So all L4, all 7 traffic goes through the sidecar proxy, which we talked about. So what is the L4 or L7? It is nothing but a layer 4 or layer 7. So in your OSI model, there is a layer 4 and a layer 7. So what is that? You must know, right? Because you have just been the pass out or you can be students, right? So so Istio control plane, what it is, right? So we will talk about that also. So as you can see, control plane keeps track of service mesh. So whatever happening inside that service meshes, different services, it Istio control plane is something which deal with everything. So control plane is the one who add the add the proxies, add the filters, add the policies, keep the eye on the same. It will also separate. It will also separate various things from it. So it is completely sitting outside of the data plane. So data plane is separate from your control plane, right? So if you want to observe, if you want to do the observability or something, so control plane will gather the metrics from the services. Also, it is the one who deploy the your configuration certificates and stuff to the data plane, and that is the main thing, right? So as we talk about whatever we told, so in the open source and the cloud native, if we give the examples, so Sidecar Proxies is your envoy and gateway API gateway is sitting outside. So as we say, whatever you want to do to the Istio control plane, Istio control plane will ask to the API gateway and the Sidecar Proxy, and it would go to the next. So service discovery image configuration is nothing but your Kubernetes, right? Kubernetes clusters. So at the start, it was like Kubernetes cluster was the one way only to start deal with Istio, but it is nothing like that, right? Istio was created in such a manner it can be separately do the deployments and kind of a thing. So yeah, you can use it with the Kubernetes clusters and stuff, and as you can see, you can generate the metrics and see the beautiful dashboards on the Prometheus and Grafana, Kiali, Jaeger, and different types of things are there for the observability. So, yeah, whatever we talked till now, as you can see, this is your Istio sidecar model, which looks when you do that kubectl node, what we say, kubectl show your pods or something, right? So that is the same thing we will you can see anyway. So as you can see, there is application, there is resource, and there is NOI. So if this application one wants to contact to the different types of applications and the different things, then it is really complex structure, and so this kind of a complex structure it is. As you can see, there are different what we say applications inside, right? So services are there, and as you can see, Foo is the one of them, cheese bar, and another is the wine, right? So let's see if if you want to get the metrics of it, then as you can see, ingress is talking to the another's ingress, and then ingress. So what is the ingress gateways? What do you know about that? It is like if you want to do the east-west configuration of the services, if you as you can see, like there are different failovers or something. So one service gets down, then we launch the new application and integrate that service to the previous one. So that time what happens, your ingress gateway, which is your Istio ingress gateway, it will act as a east-west gateway. So that's why sometimes we refer it as a east-west because in your region there are different regions, right? East, west, and different regions. So you can connect them with the you can connect them easily, and that's how the gateways work. Gateways will connect them. And as you can see here, while dealing with this kind of a structure, you have the different your Istio control planes and your sidecar proxies, and it gets really complex structure because you have to contact go to the ingress and then go to the ingress and then it goes to the egress and then so it is really hard, right? And if you want to attach the policies, then it is another thing. So dealing with these things is a complex. That's why I wanted to tell you. So what can be the potential challenges with the sidecar proxies, which we have till now? ANOVA proxy. ANOVA proxy is good, but there are really complex challenges, right? While dealing with the various companies, we come to know like some, if you are individuals and you are beginner or something, then it is really, it is not that much tough to use the sidecar or something. But during the different use cases and different kind of a things, it can be somewhere complex structure, right? So that's why there should be some need or kind of thing. So we explore various things like EBPF on service mesh. We explore the how we can reduce the use of the sidecar, or also can we use when can we introduce something which can reduce the sidecar completely. So that is the thing, right? So current challenges was overhead cost, operational complexity, performance, and stuff, right? So as you can see, if you deploy one book info page deployment or any application kind of a thing in the Istio, you will have the second pod attached every time. That is nothing but your proxy sidecar. So as you can see, there will be operational complexity because you have to contact doing the different things, and it is nothing but mesh is just not aware what is happening inside, and it is confused. Uh, as you can see, if application want to send something and contact something between the application two, then it is really complex because it has to go to the ANOVA proxy and then to the next ANOVA proxy and then to the application two. It increases the latency and cost is increasing because you can see different invoices are attached. So if we want to introduce something, if you want to do some innovation or something, the future of service mesh, how we can talk about. So that's what today's talk is about, right? So future of service mesh will happen around data plane only because there is a service and there is your sidecar. So let's try if we can like completely remove your sidecar or something. So, as we talked about, right, Envoy is just for your HTTP calls, not just for, right, it can do various things. It is just a next level of your cloud native application, cloud native project. It is one of the best application projects in your CNCF. So as you can see, we can optimize EBP, optimize the control plane also in the future. But for now, what we can do? So recently, Solo and Google launched one of the new addition to the Istio service mesh, which is nothing but the Istio Ambient Mesh. So as you can see, it is just introduced, and now Istio Ambient Mesh is merged to the Istio service mesh. Uh, you can check like new data plane is already there in your GitHub repo in the Istio service mesh, and we are really happy about the same because you can use it now and it is production ready. Uh, soon will be the production ready, and as you can use, so it reduces the cost, it simplifies your operations, it improves your performance. How, as you can see, so L4 things you can do is here, like so now what happens? We just created this as we just separated it in a similar manner. Like you can use the L4 whenever you want. You if you want to use the L7, you can use it whenever you want. Both are different proxies you can use. How you can use? We can talk about the same. Also, L4 is you can use about the you want to check the metrics, you want to check the logs, you want to do some mutual TLS tunneling, you want to assign some policies you can do inside that. So talking about the L7, while dealing with the L7, talking about the fault injection, timeout, circuit breaking, and doing the advanced stuff, you can use the L7 whenever you want. So observability with Istio sidecars is nothing but as you can see, uh, you want to scrap the metrics, you can do to the Istio proxy, and then it will go there. Without Istio sidecars, now it can directly access to your services, and you can generate your Prometheus metrics and connect it to Grafana for dashboard or something. So what is this enough data for troubleshooting? Can we use DPF for gathering additional data? Yeah, we can do it for the future, but yeah, it will be a wonderful innovation. Just keep an eye on the same. And if you contribute into these open source projects, I can guarantee like you will get awesome opportunities in the remote job world. This is current Istio Ambient model. As you can see, there is L4 everywhere. And Istio Ambient advantage is nothing but here reduce the cost. So now it is just one proxy, which is called as zero trust tunnel or ztunnel proxy. And as you can see, what is Istio Ambient Mesh? It reduces the cost completely because there previously it was a proxy per pod architecture, but now it is just your node per proxy architecture. As it reduces your CPU and it reduces your memory drastically, and you can do various stuff. Nothing but now we can talk about what actually happens, right? So adding new applications is easier now. Like previously, you had to restart your pods whenever you want to add anything. Now you don't have to do anything. It will directly you have to just attach new data plan, and yeah, it is just like that. So what's next? Nothing but you can introduce you can get the metrics and mutual TLS, but you can introduce the PPF in the future for more capabilities and working on the kernel level. And if you want to learn about these things, these are the things you can screenshot it, you can share it on Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you want, and we will provide you the resources. Feel free to screenshot and let me know if you want to get this blogs and stuff, whichever we shared, and slides and stuff. We will also see the demo. So let's go and check what is the demo all about. I hope this demo is visible to you. Uh, as you can see, Istio installation is easier. It is nothing easier. This lab is already there on the Solo Academy. I will share the lab with you, and you can do the hands-on directly. So talking about the same, if you see, you just have, if you have used the Istio somewhere, now you don't have to do anything new installation or something. You have to just add the new data plane like that, and your new data plane is added. Now if you check the logs of it, and you will see like yeah, as you can see, our CNI domain set, which we got, yeah, we are getting the nodes, CNI nodes, logs and stuff. And you can see our CNI demons, demon set on each node constantly watches for our pods and that are running in namespaces, right? So as you can see, ambient label namespace, ambient labeled will be there everywhere, and as you can see, it is keeping eye on everything. So it is just so if it is like detected, it will just opts out for the ambient and it ignores the pod. So if not, then it will apply the IP tables redirect rules to redirect all the outgoing and incoming traffics from pod to the ztunnel running on the same node. But ztunnel is just your proxy, right? So new proxy with new not so ambient has a proxy, right? So everything happening around it will keep eye on something and running on the same node. So if anything happening inside your node, so the post everything will go to the Z node, Z tunnel, and then to the control panel. So it is just like one proxy is there for entire communication and happening entire services, entire your node will have the different services and it will send everything to the Z tunnel. So let us walk through the simple example where we have the Flip call agent, and this is your ztunnel proxy and a web API and web API page, recommendation page of your sample application. So similar to Sidecar, each service account will be assigned its own identity and client key certificate pair. So it is everywhere, every time it is there. So don't get confused about the same. And um, so another thing is, yeah. So yeah, it will also send the L for traffic and something. So we will generate some kind of a traffic here. So yeah, traffic is generated. You can confirm the tunnels are that the traffic between client and server by reviewing these logs. So yeah, you can see like everything is there, everything is happening nicely, inbound, outbound, and nothing fancy or something. Uh, So as you can see, we didn't restarted any pods and we didn't have to restart any pods. We just labeled the new ambient mesh, ambient data plane, and it did everything for us. So just we will use the L4 things now, right? So let's apply some policies. We are introducing the denial policy. So denial policy will it is nothing but it will allow nothing. So we will do it cool demo here. So we have this application. So once the denial is done, you can see like now no one can access that your application, your website can't access whatever happening inside the world. So so if we introduce new thing, so here you can see we have used the introduced new RBACs and so now a sleep agent can access the ingress gateway service account, but not sleep can't access, right? Once we did this authorization policy, now call agent of your sleep can easily access the thing which is your website, but now not sleep can't access. Yeah, it is a failure. So as you can see, like just doing the simple thing, we are dealing with a long-term, like big secure thing, because now we can access our website easily by the sleep agent, but not to the not sleep. So it is nothing but the L4 thing, dealing about the layer four things, and you can use this lab. It is available on the Solo Academy. And talking about the L7 authorization policies, and so it is not. We will not go deep dive into the same, but here you will see, like for example, you will be able to send any request to web API service from the sleep pod, while you may only want to allow requests with the get method. So talking about the same, this is the architecture, right? We are using this get request and the web API is there. So L7 thing is a waypoint proxy. Let's you can verify here also, right? Yeah, it is rolling out to finish. Yeah, successfully rolled out. Uh, it is really simple now to use the different things. It is this environment is really nicely made, so you can check out. So as you can see, waypoint is there, and you have to just send the get request to the web API services. And now you can use this legend, and yeah, as you can see, it is way too accessible. What it had done, as you can see in the principles, Sleep is able to access this by the get methods. So nothing but you have to do the you have to done the get things easier. So now we will use the delete. Yeah, our back access denied and all. So it is nothing but there. So if you want to observe this thing, now you can use this. Uh, it is nothing but it will generate the Prometheus queries, and yeah, yeah, you can see here it is request to reporters and stuff. And now you can use this Prometheus query wherever you want to visualize it and stuff. We are not dealing with that stuff, but now we are just seeing like it is difficult to get service timeouts and breaking configured properly and distributed microservice application while we dealing with the service mesh, Istio service mesh, right? But Istio makes it easier to get these settings correct by enabling you to inject faults into your services request. So we just modified our code, and you can see like we have introduced the 5-second delay. So once that delay is introduced, we can directly use the call agent. And yeah, you can access it by the 5 seconds. Similar for the traffic shifting. Traffic shifting is nothing but a version to so there is newer version inside that, and canary test is often performed to use these things. So nothing but we will just use this thing. We have applied new YML code, and in order to apply the traffic shifting, nothing but you will need to deploy a waypoint proxy for the services, similar to what we did previously, and also we will use it via the Kubernetes gateway resource for the web API. Uh, so which was previously done, right? So now, yeah, it is done, and now you have to use the virtual service. What is a virtual service and what is these things you need to know about the Istio service mesh? You have to learn, and you will come to know about the same. So as you can see in the virtual service here, it is referred to the uh, must be defined within the definition rule, right? So which has the subset maps in the previous one also. So for our purchase history host. Yeah, it is just you have to apply this policy, and now you can directly. So as you can see, we have mentioned the weight of 90% and 10%. So 10% of the. So what happens? Sometimes we have to like change our website from one location to another. Then we make the traffic slowly of some of the pods, and we will move the 90% of the thing to the newer version, and slowly we will stop the 10% version and completely move it to the 100% version. So that kind of a thing happens in the companies. So that thing we have done so easily here. So now you can easily, means like we have easily reflected our traffic from the one previous version to the newer version by dividing it to the 90-10% kind of a thing. So this was a company use case. So yeah, I guess uh, that was one of the useful use cases for you. But going forward, nothing but I would like to say the thank you from my side. You are awesome audience, and I guess you learned something new. You can ask the questions to me, and feel free to ask anything. I would like to solve your questions. Nothing but you can ask about the solo, you can ask about the Istio, service mesh, Kubernetes, open source, cloud native, remote jobs, anything. Yeah, hope I was audible, right?
Yes, you are. We could hear you just fine. Thank you so much for that, Rohit. Now, we are going to get to some questions, but before that, anybody here that just joined, my name is Jordan. I'm a recruiter here with ARC. And Rohit, as you know, I'm a recruiter. I'm not a developer of any kind. So I would love to say I understood a lot of this, but it did go over my head. But it seems like service mesh is something new that I learned today.
Sure, sure.
It seems like it makes things more efficient and saves memory, from what I understood. So we did have a few questions that are a lot more intelligent than mine would ever be. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here with Cesar, and he wants to know, when you are introduced with a new project or app to develop, how do you decide to approach it with either microservices or a monolith?
Yeah, so dealing with the like use cases. So if you are something dealing with the individual project and like one of the things like you if you are just dealing with the one kind of a cluster, and inside that it is just a one microservice, a single thing we have to do, and you don't have to go diversify and deal with the thousands of multi clusters and something, then some people don't prefer to go to the microservices. It is just a monolithic kind of a thing you can introduce and do your stuff. Similarly, talking about the Kubernetes also you have to use when you are dealing with a huge kind of a things. It is not like your company said and start with using Kubernetes at the start. So try to explore the things which are everywhere there. You can go with the checking the blogs and documentation available on the entire internet, right? So use it and learn about the same. So another thing Piyush is asking, which is how is this better than Kubernetes? Kubernetes is it is like completely different than Kubernetes. Service mesh is different, Kubernetes is different. So let's take example, which is like if you want to do the service discovery and kind of thing, it is available in the Kubernetes also. But if you want to deal with the like observability, then circuit tracking, and then your traffic shifting, canary deployments, and different things, then during the complex service mesh architecture, you have to come with the service mesh. It is not like you can do everything with the Kubernetes alone. So that is one thing. So is this sidecar compatible with Kubernetes service mesh? Brian is asking. So yeah, Kubernetes service mesh, it is not like there is nothing such available known as a Kubernetes service mesh. There is a Istio service mesh. There is a your another service meshes names are there, right? There are different types of service mesh available. So Kubernetes clusters will be there, and inside that there will be different services, and you can use the service mesh to introduce security depending on your use cases, what you want, and you can introduce the service mesh. Yeah, Xavier is asking, how do you know you need a service mesh? That's we answered already, right? So Ivan is asking, what are the trade-offs from using this kind of service mesh stack instead of using an? It is completely different. So whatever you are asking, it is completely different. Like service mesh is just not one stack or something. It when you use the you are the enterprise, you are an individual dealing with a lot of microservices kind of thing. You have to you can use the service mesh to deal with your complex structure. AWS stack and something you can use that like stack is something which is used for the infrastructure and stuff, right? So service mesh also has the it is nothing but your application infrastructure which will help you to deal with the services uh, without having much aware about what is the microservice, what is the monolithic and stuff. It will help you in that manner. So Munib is asking how to get the resources you mentioned in the slides. Yeah, it is available. I will share it with you in chat or somewhere. Or you can directly ping me anytime. I am available on the Twitter also, right? Ghumare64 is my ID. You can ping me or let me share it to you also, right? I have the uh, I guess I have that. So if you search the Solo Academy, and so there is a various things available. Whatever we need, you need, right? So any more questions you can ask. Meanwhile, I will share that links in the chat section. As you can see, I have shared the academy.solo.io, and you can.
Yeah, I got a couple like just kind of general fun questions here. If nobody
Sure, sure, sure.
has any other questions, I see somebody Rajib apparently has asked, how is this useful for beginners?
Yeah, it is absolutely useful for beginners as because as like in which case, like you want to start the startup or you want to just learn? Because if you want to learn then so learning the service mesh will like drastically change the future of your life journey because you are learning something which is people are people have just started exploring and which is booming because according to CNCF in 2020 like service mesh adoption was just 27%, 20% or 27%, but now it is 50%, 47%. So 47% have already started using service mesh, and yeah. So if you started contributing to the open source projects in the service mesh and the Kubernetes and stuff, then companies will come to you. You don't have to go to them. So that will be my answer for your question. So please mention some open source projects to contribute to. There are different projects like you can go to the CNCF, cncf.io. There are different cloud native projects are available. You can contribute to any of them. And if you talk about general projects, you use the Python, you use the Java, you use the Ubuntu, and different types of things. You use Jenkins. Go to their website, go to their GitHub repo, and start contributing in any manner like blog, documentation, web designs, and anything you want.
Awesome. Well, I mean, if nobody else has any other ones, I will just ask you, like I said, a few fun ones. First question, I guess, for you, Rohit, today will be what are you learning right now? Are you learning anything else new at this point in time?
Yeah, I'm learning about the zero trust security. It is really life. It's like it will change entire service security. It is nothing but so previously we had the security like we had the security. Yeah, we know. But now it is like it names suggest like zero trust. Don't trust this security. You have to verify. So that is zero trust security. And companies are trying to learn this thing and they will simply use it in everywhere. So it is nice thing. You can also explore like every audience can go and learn about what is zero trust because companies are starting to explore these things. So if you start from now, then it will be really useful for you.
Okay. And one good and this isn't saying anything about the people that are here today, but just in general, what do you wish more people would like talk to you about or ask you about? Is there
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. It's like you can ask me about DevOps and remote jobs and about like if you want to get learnings about how one should go forward with a career and about what they should choose. They should not choose the traditional methods of going to the career and uh, people just start exploring the jobs and follow the path which have already others have done. You can explore the path which will be unique to you, not just follow others' path, right? So that
Mm,
also you can go with the same. So that really happens on my YouTube channel. I deal with these things only.
okay, very nice. And is there anything that you like still have trouble understanding, even though you've been doing a lot of research on that subject?
Yeah, service mesh. Simple answer.
Very nice. And are there any podcasts, books, or anything like that that you really swear by or recommend to everybody here today?
Yeah, so about which thing, like Istio or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on any
so
on anything, just anything in general. I mean, I'm sure your YouTube channel is one thing you would recommend.
yeah, you can go and check it out my YouTube channel. It doesn't have much resources, but it has the Cloud Native Talks, and it will be helpful to you. You can directly search the Cloud Native Talks podcast. It is mine only. Another thing I will recommend go on the start Twitter and start following the right people because if you don't follow the right people, then Twitter will be just waste of time for you. Follow the technical people who are active and stuff, then it will be really very helpful. And if you want to learn the Istio, I have this book for you. You can learn this book, Istio in Action. I guess it is visible. Istio in Action is the book where you can learn everything about the Istio. And if you want to learn more about the cloud native, Kubernetes, Istio, and GraphQL, eBPF, or something, you can go to the Solo Academy. Another thing, you can follow the YouTube channels like Kunal Kushwa, Cube Simplify, then Anais Richleys. There are different things available. So it is available on my Twitter. You can directly go to the website. You can also go to this website. Here they have it's like we have created nice resource like entire DevOps things. Everything is there. You have to just go there and click on the resources. You will find everything about the DevOps world.
Very nice. And I think we've had a couple other questions come in since you were speaking from Edgar and Kudo. If you wanna answer those, and then I'll go ahead and start wrapping things up here.
Do DevOps difficulty do and on the platform I'm struggling with AWS. Uh, Depend on the platform. Oh, nothing. It is nothing like that. Start with something. You will slowly enjoy the path. But I would like recommend the going with the start. It is not like jumping directly to the cloud. Learn about the Linux and networking fundamentals, programming, scripting. Then go forward with the containers, orchestrator, and cloud and stuff. Don't try to quickly jump to the next levels. Then you will surely get stuck. What service mesh options are available? Yeah, there are different. I guess Istio is there, Linkerd is there, Kuma is there, and different things are available. You have to just check what is there. I'm at the beginner level of the learning curve in DevOps and want to get into remote jobs. I'm currently preparing for the AWS CCP. Would recommend getting a remote internship. I would just recommend you like whatever you are learning, learn in public, share it publicly, whatever you are learning, and learn while doing. So learn practically, just don't go with the courses and stuff because it will not help you. While learning the practically, share it publicly on the Twitter, LinkedIn, and blogs or something.
Very nice. And a couple final questions, I promise, and then we'll wrap this up probably a couple minutes early here. But what was your most recent like development panic moment, and how did you end up handling it?
Yeah, so I have to deal with like various things simultaneously.
Hmm.
Like I had to launch my podcast. I have to go write my newsletter. I have to deal with the sponsorships. I have to launch with my conference. I will be will soon announcing it. So doing various things at the simultaneously is the big thing I have encountered till now, and it gets really painful, panicful, and you have to like manage the time accordingly. But at
Hmm.
the end, things will work out sooner or later. But thing is, while dealing with this time, you will get like self out or something. So it is nothing like that. Start exploring slowly, slowly. So start solving one thing at time. Otherwise, it will just get buckle up because you will see like there are a lot of work how I can do. So
Hmm.
at least do one thing at a time. It will surely solve at the last, right?
Okay, thank you. And now, what moments when you're programming, or was there a specific moment where you're just like, "Wow, I love what I do so much." Have
Yeah.
you had
So
any of those moments?
I have the answer for it. So if you know about the my journey, so I was ML engineer, right? So then know about the ML ops. So when I was doing the ML ops thing, machine learning integration with the DevOps completely solved my world because I was training the models manually. And when I introduced the DevOps inside it, it was doing that training of the machine learning model automatically. So I was like, it was fascinating for me, and at the end, I switched completely to her DevOps because I liked that DevOps part of MLOps more than the machine
Mhm.
learning. So that's why I switched machine learning to DevOps, and that was the part which I really think like changed my life also. So yeah.
Do you see any other changes coming for you in the future? Any
Uh,
career transitions, or are you happy where you are?
No, no, I will not do any changes now because already I'm like I'm the DevOps person, but I'm working as a platform advocate, developer advocate. So developer advocate is the role comes under the developer relations umbrella, right? So I'm the developer advocate, but I do the advocacy for the DevOps and platform engineering,
Right.
platform operators. So it is nice, like it is cherry on top. Like I can do both things at the one time, and it is nice.
Well, very nice. I'm happy you're right where you wanna be.
Thank you.
And speaking of the future, um, if I had to guess, I think I know what your answer might be, but what is something that's maybe unexpected, maybe except for you, that's going to happen in coding or software development in the next, 10, 15 years?
Yeah, so as you know, like uh, there is AI also. So
Yeah.
AI is booming and stuff is happening. Uh, it might happen like AI will solve various use cases which we deal with normally. Like we do like we solve the use cases of means whatever we are doing manually stuff, we can solve it easier by doing the using the AI. So we don't need to search the Google. We can directly ask another
Mm.
thing like a chat GPT. Currently, we are using the chat GPT, but it is not that much practical to use. It is just a work assistant, but that is not also the that much useful. But then it can be the future. Another thing is talking about the eBPF. In the cloud native world, eBPF is booming. So previously, we can't write the kernel level code of your cloud anything, right? So now with the eBPF, you can write the kernel level code. So you don't you we can't means like now only we can write the program level code, right? But now using the eBPF, you can write the BPPF compiler codes and stuff. And if that can be done, then uh, as I shown, like we are doing the data plane changes and stuff for the future of service mesh. But in the future, if that is booming and stuff, then you can directly do these changes at the control plane. So it can be the big thing, right? So there are different things happening, and cloud native space is like new things introduced daily, and it solves the various use cases, and previous things need to be changed accordingly. So people are learning from the companies' use cases and stuff, and they trying to explore their products and projects.
Okay, very nice. And so, yeah, I mean, I knew going back to kind of the AI, um, I feel like I saw the other day one of these AI, platforms or whatever was able to pass an interview for Google. So I don't know if everybody here is scared for their future. I hope not. But I think that about wraps things up for today. I just want to say, thanks everybody for joining. We've obviously, some of us have learned a lot today from Rohit, and you can find them on their social media channels. We left links in the comment box for everybody. So, as a reminder, this event is a part of multiple events in a series for this job fair that will have a full agenda today, full with other speakers. And the agenda for that is also going to be in the comments. And if you enjoyed this session and want to learn more about the companies that are hiring, once again, we have pinned a link in this chat. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having me. It
everybody.
was really nice.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for taking the time to do this for us today. We really appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, as I said, I think we're going to end a few minutes early here, so feel free to leave whenever you're ready, and hopefully we'll see y'all in the next talk.